Hey everybody, and welcome back to Boat Fool Sailing. Today on Anchored, we're going to look at a boat that's actually just come on the market. Typically we're interviewing owners and their boats, but this time we're going to be interviewing a seller because unfortunately the seller has to move to Tennessee and has to sell this boat. And normally I wouldn't be interested, but this boat looks like it's a very intriguing find. And she's a European boat that's living in the United States, and she was built in 1964, and she's just shy of 30 feet long, fiberglass hull with a wooden coach roof, and it has a storied pedigree in terms of the designer and builder, and I thought it was worth a look. It is a 1964 Trintella 1, and I'm going to show you all the information on this boat, and we're going to go take a look at her. And the owner has also suggested that he's got a couple other boats that he wants us to look at. So we'll see what other gems we can find. But this particular boat, based on the pictures I saw, looks like it's worth a really close look and could be a real diamond in the rough. So let's go check it out. And thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the show. All right, so here we are. We're at Norton Pond. We're looking at a 1964 Trintella 1, which was a Dutch-made boat, and so came overseas, and it's really a beautiful boat. And it's fiberglass hull with a wooden coach roof, and I'm not sure if they're teak decks or not, but we're going to go up and take a look. But full keel and a stern-hung rudder, which there was a 1A version of this that came later that had the rudder hung off the back of the keel. So this is the one with the transom hung, and that is one honey of a rudder. That is huge. And for those of you who sail in the Northeast with lobster pots, this is kind of nice because your prop is protected and it doesn't look like you have a lot of snagging opportunities, because the pot would come down and travel off of this and around, and you'd be good to go. So Scott, so you picked her up in Portland?
Portland, Maine. Family had been living on her. The father was a boat builder, and he fully restored everything. And the family lived on the boat with a one-year-old for 3 years.
Wow. And so what drew you to this particular boat?
I grew up on Lake George and always sailed. My wife had never sailed, and she had been posting on Facebook for sailboats for sale, and we found it, and she happened to respond first. Yeah. And there were 19 people behind us by the time we got down there.
Wow.
And we said, for the price was right, let's brand new sails, everything refinished, let's go learn.
And this was back in
2001.
2001.
Sorry, 2021.
2021. So you've owned her for 2.5 years, and she's been on the hard since 2021. You brought her up from Portland.
Yes. We sailed her one summer, and then didn't put her in last year due to injury. Okay.
And then, so she's got new sails, and did you do any other upgrades to her?
We have not, other than the stands.
Yep. Well, jack stands are important. Yeah, well, let's go take a look. So just so everyone knows who's watching, this boat sadly has to go up for sale because the owners are moving to Tennessee, and they don't have a lot of water down there, and they're not going to be bringing these boats, and particularly this boat. So it's for sale. And what's the asking price?
$6,500.
$6,500.
With the stands.
With the stands. So that's that seems like a smoking deal, but we're going to take a look because apparently down below is spectacular. All right, we are up on deck, and it's been covered for the better part of 2 years, and this deck was all relaid, and it looks to be in really nice shape. The coach roof, like we said, it's been undercover. Could use a little TLC, as could the Brightwork, but by and large, this looks pretty amazing. And what a classic beauty. I think you put that in the ad, that this is, they don't make them like they used to. And this definitely appears to be the case with this boat. It is really neat. So if someone wants to put a little elbow grease and sweat equity into this.
They don't make them like this anymore.
No, they don't. This is really beautiful. These bulwarks are nice for catching your toes on the edge, so you can have something to stand against. I don't know if you can see that. Nice high bulwarks on there to keep the spray off. Nice wooden coach roof. Old winches. Big tiller. Look at that. That is amazing. We're gonna go check out down below. Okay, we are now down below, and this is really cool. It is literally like going back in time, and it looks to be in really, really great shape. So you've got the V-berth, which looks like a 6-foot person could sleep in there, and a hatch here for some ventilation, and you've got a head with an updated toilet, and look at this nice, looks like wet storage here. And is the plumbing all functioning?
It is.
Yeah.
It was winterized and works fine. It does have a built-in heater.
Okay.
It's run by a separate diesel tank because they lived here year-round. But
wow, these windows are great too. And my God, the headroom, I'm 6'1", and I'm not even close to touching the top here. You do have a quarter berth here, which is currently used for storage, a refrigerator, and we got a 2-burner cooktop here, sink that's near center line, and here is your diesel. What?
it's an 11-horse universal diesel.
11 horse universal. Okay.
It gets about 1,000 miles to the gallon, and we've proven that by our trip to Portland. And several people looked at it and said, great access for this type of boat to work on the engine.
I was going to say, for a 27, 28 footer, I think is that's pretty amazing. So,
and you got full access on the other side too.
So it just looks like it just needs a good scrub and clean, and this thing would be up and going. Yep. And it has been winterized, and for all you know, it looks like the filters have been changed, oil filter, and so you know that it runs.
Yep. And brand new sails.
Brand new sails.
Jib, a spinnaker, and a mainsail.
Are these? I don't know what that logo is. I know it, but I can't figure out who is that.
I don't know.
It's not Hallett.
No.
No.
But they were brand new the year that we bought it.
And does this have a pressurized water system?
You know, I don't know that.
Okay. I mean, so when you turn on this, do you use a pump, or does a pump come on? Do you use a foot pump, or does it?
I don't know that. I'm pretty sure it's pressurized.
Okay. It seems like with a thing like this, I don't see a foot pump.
Yeah.
So I imagine that it is pressurized, because typically there'd be a pump on the ground for you to do it. But you've got, is that propane?
It is.
Nice. This is really something. Long shot looking down the boat. What a beauty. Like I said, this has been under wraps for better part of 2 years. So you could come on here, give it a good clean and scrub, fire up the engine, make sure she's working, and have yourself a real beauty to go out on the bay with and do some day sailing, coastal cruising, weekending, whatever. And it's got an encapsulated keel, so you don't have to worry about keel bolts. You've got a lantern. You do have lights in here too, and heat. Fantastic. All right, we're looking down into the port lazarette. You've got a separate diesel for the heater, battery, shore power, and what else do we have in here, Scott?
That's about it there.
Okay, and you got dual batteries, it looks like, one for the house, one for starter. All right, here we have access to the transmission and the back side of the engine and your stuffing box, and all looks to be in order. There's your heat exchanger right there on the end, and looks like just add a little elbow grease and be good to go. Very cool. And the attention to detail on this is really kind of neat. This companionway door, really pretty. There's another shot down below. And so when you sailed her, she must have been pretty steady on her feet. I mean, according to the sailboat data on it, she has a nice comfort ratio, so I bet she took the waves nicely. Did you bury the rails on her? Did you get her heeled over that far? Or
Not quite. We kind of backed off when we're novice sailors. So.
Well, and it's a wooden spar too, right? Yeah. You know, no, according to the sailboat data, this would be a very, very comfortable boat to sail. I think they have a comfort ratio, and I think this one's over 30, and anything sort of in the 20s is a little bit bumpier, and then anything 30 and above is going to be a nice smoother ride.
Well, she's definitely, I mean, it's a full-leaded keel, except for where the, what do you call it, sump pump is. Yep. So it's not tippy, it's very solid. Yep. You know, there is a lot of pull on this when you can't sail by itself. Yeah. you have to really play with the sails and get the balance right. And is there a holding tank for the head on this? So there is a holding tank. I think.
I bet there is. based on the newer toilet that's in there. I bet they upgraded it, but just a really cool boat. Love it. So you got a nice deck step mast here, a couple dorade vents, nice forward hatch that opens, and if you're worried about the teak decking, this really looks to be in great shape. You know, if you want to update the bright work, great. If not, this looks like she's ready to go, just with a good clean and a coat of paint on your coach roof, because she is wood up here, and again the hull is fiberglass, and just a pretty boat. And if you wanted to step back in time, this would be a boat to do it on, and leave the cell phones at home and go for a sail. Love it. Love this boat. What a pretty coach
Marty
roof.
Taylor.
Marty, yeah, sure.
Marty.
Yep. All right, so we're looking at the starboard side here, and just a couple of rub marks on the hull. No damage there. So whoever buys this boat's going to want to probably put a coat of paint on her, maybe all grip it, but maybe wax and buff it first and see what happens, and take it for a sail it for a season, see what she needs, and then make modifications as needed. I can say that it reminds me a lot of the Bristol 27, and including the shape of the coach roof, but down below I much prefer the layout of this boat, and I think the sailing characteristics would probably be fairly similar with the full keel and the big rudder, because the Bristol is a similar setup, though it's not transom hung like this. But what a neat boat, and love the coach roof on this. So I hope somebody sees this and understands the history of Trintella and takes a chance and gets this beauty back in the water. We're looking at the varnished spar of the Trintella 1, and it is beautiful. Single spreader set here. It's all been redone, revarnished, and ready to rock and roll. And the hardware on here is incredible. Old winches here, everything's functioning, and all probably original to the boat, which was built in 1964. All right, so we're up here supposedly looking at a sailboat, but Scott has deviated, and we're looking at some other cool boats. So what we got here?
This is a 1962 Chris Craft Continental.
Nice.
Fully restored over the past 6 years. I was in the water last year, but needed a little bit of tune-ups. But it's the woodwork is phenomenal.
It's extraordinary.
It's got a Corvette 1958 Corvette engine in it.
1958 Corvette engine. How many horsepower is that?
It's a small block, so I think 350.
Huh.
But
that'll do.
It definitely will.
Wow, she is beautiful. I'll get out of your way. Go around this way. So this is also for sale. So in addition to the sailboat.
This is what happens when you move to a non-ocean property.
Moving, unfortunately, to Tennessee, so all of these toys have to go. Out of curiosity, what are you asking for this boat?
We have 50,000 into the full restoration, so we'd like to not make money, but get our money back.
Get your money out of it.
It's a Northeast Adirondack boat that just we had it in the water last year, and it looks perfect on this pond.
It's gorgeous, really it is, and sort of has the McGonagall Lake colors, the green and brown. It's beautiful, and this must be the spar, the boom from the Trintella.
It is.
Yep. Wow, this is extraordinary. This is like this is a time capsule to a different era. Wow. Would do you know how fast she'll go with that 350?
I don't really.
Okay.
It is a heavy boat.
Yep.
I wouldn't expect more than 35, but
That's plenty fast.
she'll get up on plane, and she looks amazing in the water.
Oh,
My
that
dad
is really
actually
beautiful.
had the small version of this boat when he grew up.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
How many feet is she?
19.
19 feet. Wow, look at that. That is beautiful. It really is.
The cover was engineered so it would protect the deck.
And is this just a flag pole?
It's a flagpole.
Yep.
Between you and I, flawed engineering because the flag doesn't come out, the cover has to cover the flag, but
Gotcha.
that's what happens for 1962.
Wow, she is really pretty. Thank you for sharing that. That's very cool. 1972 16-foot Century Resorter, 270 horsepower inboard engine, great for water skiing. Yeah, that's beautiful. And is it easy to pull this top back real quick just to get a peek on the inside? Just part of it? It's really beautiful.
It's really cool.
Oh, this is just a classic. It's like the inside of an old 60s Corvette or something.
He's gonna varnish that. Oh, and then start it.
That's slick.
So they can hear.
The engines, midships here. Yeah, beautiful. Are you gonna fire it up?
Heck yeah.
Oh wow! All right. Bilge works. That's great.
The previous
Gas
owners
blower.
kids asked them to put the pterodactyl on it, so it's got a unique pterodactyl feature.
What are you guys asking for this? Don't let me down, Scott. Oh, so close. There it is. Oh. There it is. Beautiful.
That's been running 2 weeks, that's why I was.
Yeah. Trying it right now.
Yeah, that rainstorm.
Yeah. So you're asking, what did you say you're asking for this?
5.
Okay. $5,000 for this beautiful boat. Take your friends out cocktail cruising and go for a ski. Very cool. All right, one more look at the port side here, and really pretty lines, nice shear, and just a nice hull shape. And that coach roof is a stunner. I love it. So that is it for today. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll put all the details below if you're interested in learning more about this boat.